Hello and welcome back to another episode of PineStars, where we talk about the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds baseball. Take a look at last week, take a look at the week ahead, and talk a little shit along the way. I am Brad Bates. With me this week is Kurt Brabender. Curtis, how are you, bud?
I'm great, man. I'm just happy to be here, and we got another week of this broadcast.
Absolutely. Hopefully, Coach Reddy's able to join us. He was working on a couple of things, and Rimke may find some time to pry himself away from whatever the hell he's doing to jump on
Either, all
mid-show as well. So let's hopefully they join us.
right. Well, I won't keep my fingers crossed. I know Al's a busy man, so
He's a busy man. They keep winning. They've won
that's true.
seven in a row in the season. They jump from what did we say? They were tied for seventh in
Seven
the
or eight,
conference. Yeah,
yeah, 7 or 8.
tied for seventh in the conference to tied for third in the conference right now.
Right.
But last week against Lewis up at Romeoville and goddamn Lewis, they broke out the broom, swept all four games to close out the season, which is a fantastic. Can't ask for a better way to close out a season. Game one, they were
Uh-huh.
8-4 winners. Game two, they won 10-6. Game three, they won 10-3. And game four, final game of the regular season, they won 16-4 over the Lewis Flyers.
You know, we had talked about this a couple weeks ago. Getting 30 wins on the season, we thought was going to be a stretch, right?
Yep,
They ended up 31 and 19 overall, which I think is a respectable record.
I agree.
Now you incorporate all those one loss
Extra
run
inning.
games, extra innings, right? And then 22 and 10 in the conference. So, I mean, they came on strong at the end of the year in the last two series that they definitely needed because the way this conference tournament plays out, they get a bye, right? And they
Being
play
the third
against
seed.
being the 3 seed.
Okay.
If they didn't have that 7 game stretch at the end of the year, they would have probably had quote unquote a play-in game. You waste an arm. Now they win one game against the winner of who is it?
Maryville and Quincy.
Maryville and Quincy. They go on to play UMSL. Now you win that one game, regardless of what happens against UMSL, win or lose. If you lose, you're going to go down to a double elimination tournament, right? So you get 2 games. So
But that first game for the Greyhounds is a single elimination game,
it's
right?
elimination, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it's kind of a newfangled way of the bracket and how they've orchestrated this. What is it, an
Mm-hmm.
eight-team tournament? And
Yeah, 8 teams. Yep.
and so you're right. Had they finished the season in fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, they're in that play-in game, which is
Mm-hmm.
a single elimination game. You got to win that game to go play another single elimination game in order to get into a double elimination tournament.
Right. Yep. Now that's big because again, you get to save your pitching for at
Mhm.
least, so you're not wasting out in the play-in game. Ideally, whoever wins the game against, in that play-in game, they go through some of their pitching, right? So you're sitting pretty well. You're going to have your ace on the mound. You're going to go against a team that, you're going to face maybe their number two, right?
Yeah.
But if it's a tight game, maybe they bring their number two in and they have to throw a couple. So you're sitting pretty good, at least with that first game against one of those two to
Yeah,
go.
and if you remember, there's always that strategy going into the tournament, any kind of tournament like this of do I hold my number one and try to save him
Mm-hmm.
and go with my number two? If you remember, was it Umsel that did that against us? And it backfired on him. We ended up winning the conference tournament. And
Yeah.
that was I think the way that the GLVC is structured right now and where these teams are, it's going to be hard for those lower teams to do that because this conference is pretty packed in record
Mm-hmm.
and with teams that have all kind of beaten each other throughout the year. So that'd be a dangerous play to try to throw off in game one. But it really is an interesting dynamic within the tournament. And we talked about hopefully it's one of those 16, 15 games where they're bringing in a bunch of different pitchers and going long, maybe
Mm-hmm.
extra innings. because they're going to play whoever that Quincy Maryville game is going to play at 12:30 on Wednesday morning, and the winner of that game plays the Hounds Wednesday night at 7:30
It's
from
7:30. Yeah.
Mountain Dew Park, home of the Thrillbillies. But looking at the GLVT statistics, the Hounds pitching staff has the best team ERA in the conference. And
That's
you
something
think
you
about
see.
those games where they gave up a lot of runs and things, and the defense hurt them.
Mhm.
The defense
They
hurt them,
did.
but
I
that
mean, a
pitching
lot.
staff, man, they're solid.
Yeah, good pitching staff, right? I mean, they got some guys back, and that helped. I think after midway through the season, I could be speaking wrong here. I not like it the first time I'd be wrong, but even looking ahead to the UMSL game, right? Should they make that? Ideally, they do. I mean, you go back and look at their previous record against them. They lost what 3 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 7-5 in 10 innings, 10-7 in 10 innings, and then 9-8, and they won 3-0.
Right.
So you look at it. That first loss they had was 7-5 in 10 innings. That was against their number one, I'm assuming, right? So they've seen the guy. They've lit up their. I won't say they lit up their number two, but they beat their number two 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Their number three, they lost 9-8. So that could have been a later inning collapses that they had, which it
Yeah.
what it appears to be. So I think statistically and how they match up, I think that match up really good against UMSL. But yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here because that first game is of the utmost importance. So, question for you then:
Yes, sir.
you're the head coach. What do you do? Do you throw your number one? Do you try to save them? What do you do?
No, especially in Al's position where it's win or go home. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to you got to go out there and you got to throw your number one. You got to put your best 9 guys on the field and in the
Yep.
lineup. And I'm not saving any questions for tomorrow you know, until it's tomorrow. Yeah, we got to
Uh-huh.
get through this game and today first. Plus, I mean, you look at your number 2 starters, Aiden Tran. He's the one that beat him last time, shut him down.
Yeah.
I think he threw a complete game. And,
Mm-hmm.
not saying that that's automatic, but sometimes guys just have a team's number, and that
Right.
could be the way he goes. And Aiden's been really, really solid throughout the season in that second game of the series. But taking a look back real quick, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't highlight something here. Game 4 against Lewis last week. They
Mm-hmm.
win 16-4. Bodie hits 2 home runs and has 8 RBIs on the game. 8 RBIs in a game is quite a bit. I think that was a record since I think they said in the write up since 2009. But that's a hell of a ball game right there. And I think he had a double in the middle there, and everybody was swinging it well that day. But give Bodie his props for having a hell of a day. And when I go in and look and not trying to make it all about one person, but I do want to give him his flowers because we hardly ever give him a click to pick. When I go in and look at the GLVC rankings and you look individually at where players fall, there's about 13 or 14 different categories. In 10 of these offensive categories, Bodie is ranked 7th or higher. He is 7th in average. He's first in slugging percentage. On base percentage, he's third. OPS, he's first. Runs, he's first. Hits, he's 7th. RBIs, he's third. Triples, he's first. And home runs, he's second. And walks, he's fifth. That's a hell of a season, man. That's a hell of a fucking
That's
season.
that's a hell of a season. That's a great stat lines to have, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you don't play in a slouch conference either, right? You've got some
right.
really good teams, some really good pitching, and you know, does that say that these teams don't want to pitch around him because you've got protection behind? Maybe it is, right? And that says a lot about the Hounds' offense in general because they put up a lot of runs on a lot of games.
Yeah.
So, while he's got a lot of the accolades right now, it's up and down the lineup people produce, right?
Oh, yeah,
Getting on,
for
I mean, he's
sure.
getting on base. He's obviously being driven in, leading the league in runs.
Yeah. And Brayton Bowen's in 4 of those categories. He's in the top
Mm-hmm.
10. So, there's guys further even, and there's guys sprinkled in as leaderships in different roles. But when you look at the cumulative piece of work and the game that I called against UMSL out at Greyhound Park, Bodie was getting thrown around and they were throwing off the whole time. And I saw him after the game and I
Yeah.
said, "Are you going to pitch the hit, man?" He said, I thought I was going to. He was like, I was getting frustrated. So I could definitely see that in his body language when I think he drew his fourth walk of the day in game one. So, but taking a look at the GLVC conference tournament coming up, like we said, they play the winner of Quincy and Maryville Wednesday evening at 7:30 p.m. for Mountain Dew Park
Mhm.
in Marion, Illinois. Quincy and Maryville. Quincy is 31 and 19 overall with a 19 and 13 record in the conference. Maryville is 26 and 23 with a 20 and 12 record in the conference. Quincy has
Uh-huh.
the ugliest fucking uniforms you've ever seen and the dumbest goddamn hat. If you do yourself a favor and just look up their pictures, it's the dumbest goddamn hat I've ever seen. And Maryville's fucking logo looks like it belongs on the chest of a superhero. It's so comic. It's just two tragic, tragic organizational choices. But both teams
I
are
have
pretty
no
good.
comment on the uniform. I know you're the big uniform guru guy, and that's always been your go-to. So I'll let you run with that.
Sure. But
I'm better with other nonsense.
but they are both in this tournament. And Quincy was, I think Quincy had a pretty good record for a while and maybe had a backslide towards the end of their season because they
Right.
were always up in there in a lot. And they got some hitters. So I think they've got three guys in the top 10 in the conference in batting average in their lineup. They like to steal bases. So they're going to be somebody who the
Mhm.
Hounds are going to have to reinsure that that solid defensive approach that they've been bringing these last two series of the season, 2 to 3 series of the season. Turning double plays, knocking ball down, making plays, things like that. Maryville, I don't know as much about, but again, you put anybody in this conference tournament and they got a shot.
For sure. They do. Now, you know, the top four seeds get a bye, right?
Correct. At least a one game
No,
bye.
I'm sorry.
3 and 4 get a
The
one game
top,
bye.
yeah. You go back to that Illinois Springfield series with UIndy,
Mm-hmm.
right? They easily knocked Illinois Springfield out of a bye game,
Oh yeah.
right? I think Illinois Springfield was kind of flying high,
I think
right?
they were
Thinking, hey,
second in the conference at the
we
time.
we've got this, and then UIndy comes in and kind of knocks them off their pedestal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You never put pussy on a pedestal. That's just a given. So remember that, boys. Remember that. So yeah, they knocked them. I think that series definitely kind of turned the tide for Illinois Springfield, which is a good ball club, and now they've got to, they missed out on bye. So
Yeah, now they've got to go the long way, right, to
yeah,
get there.
yep.
Um, and the Maryville Saints, I don't know much about them. I think they played Quincy early in the season, and I believe Quincy won. Um, yeah,
Not
Quincy won
having Remke
five
here,
one.
yeah, not having Remke here definitely hurts our ability to kind of really have these stats at our
Yeah,
fingertips.
Scotty's so much better working with him because he doesn't talk to me the same way.
Well,
Um,
I don't talk to Scotty, period, so I don't really care for the guy.
um, so thinking about this, you've got Aiden Pearson most likely going game one
Mm-hmm.
against the winner of Quincy and Maryville. You got Aiden Trans set up to go game two against UMSL, and then let the chips fall where they may. But we need to take a little bit of a look at the conference championship click to pick. Curtis, who you got this week that you feel like is going to go off for the conference tournament?
You know, you kind of alluded to it earlier. I think I'm changing my pick, not to, make the other guy that I had feel bad because nobody knows who it was. It's only me. It's only in here, right? It's just in here. But I'm going with Bodie, right? I've never picked Bodie.
Okay.
I think Remke, has quite a bit in the past. Again, I'm probably wrong, but I'm going Bodie. I mean, the guy's on a hot streak. Hopefully the accolades don't get to your head, right? Now's the time to shine for sure. And, you're in the top of all that. Now's the time. My God, look who it is. Already, guy driving
What's
in his
up,
car.
gentlemen?
Whoa, there he
Make
is.
sure you stop at all stop signs. Watch out for that semi trailer behind you.
Yeah, he's been following me for a while, so I think I've been taking my sweet ass time, so I think I might just let him go by, him and the other 5 trucks I've been holding up and driving really slow in the ultra fast lane.
You're that typical Canadian driver that I can't stand, that I'm always having to
Oh yeah,
pass in the slow
yes.
lane.
Oh, I'm
See that?
absolutely that guy.
See that Ontario
You're a
license
dick.
plate?
You're a dick.
Jeez. Well, you caught us just at the right time, Al, because we're
Perfect.
getting in the middle of our clicks to pick. Kurt just chose Bodie for this week. We kind of ran through his accolades and how he's been doing this season, and also the fact what we didn't mention was was the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week this last week, which
Yeah.
was
Well, what a surprise pick, Kurt. I mean, he's only going to be a first team All American.
Hey, I'm always rooting for the number one. Call me a bandwagoner. I don't care.
I can do that. I've got hats for you. Did Bates tell you that I've got some nice hats for you guys? Those New Era Hounds hats that
He did.
one that I
He mentioned
typically wear.
something. He mentioned something about them being drop ship of my fucking windsuit that I've never gotten.
Well, these I actually physically have in my possession. They're sitting in my locker. I got a black one for Bates, a black one for Remke, and a camo one for Camo Kurt, because I know you like camo.
I do love camo. My underwear's camo right now. You want to see it?
Nice. No thanks. I'm good.
Okay. You want me to see it anyway because it's camo.
All right. Well, we're going to get back to you real quick, Coach. But my click to pick this week, Mr. Consistency, just doing a little bit of everything on the field. Chase Mason. Chase Mason is my pick for the tournament. I think he's such a special player, and so that's my click this week.
He really got hot this past weekend at Lewis. I think he had 4 hits in the last game, and he really played well this past weekend, not just behind the plate, but he had some big hits too as well. I know those scores for Lewis leading, because I think at some point Lewis was actually in each one of those ball games for a few innings until one thing happened or another. Typically, the 3 grand slams that we hit were could be argued as the turning point of most of those games. But
makes it tough.
Chase Mason, he played, and that's a good pick.
Let me kind of give you a layup here, though, Al. Let me give you a layup, something you to build off of.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Where are you guys at right now in the regional rankings?
You can, knowing that we're probably going to be in the top 8, you can go ahead and make that prediction. You can say, hey, this is my prediction based on what I think. I think the Hounds have done enough work that they deserve to be in the top 8.
All right.
Because that's where I think we're going to be.
All right, Coach. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up here. Good luck to you and the boys this weekend. Go let it all hang out and bring another.
We're going to win the tournament, boys.
UND leads the conference in conference championships with 6. So go get number 7.
Sure.
Hey,
do. We're going to win.
Al.
We're going to.
Al.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You gonna get the boys a good steak tonight at Ryan's Steakhouse? What you gonna do?
As a matter of fact, well, we don't take them to restaurants anymore because the restaurants, they don't, they would rather you cater and come pick up the food so that you don't tie up all their tables. But that is one of the restaurants that we have 3 go-to steakhouses. Ryan's is one of them. Texas Roadhouse is the other one, and Outback is one of the other ones that we typically get. And so I'm sure we'll cater steaks at some point. We do typically every weekend.
Has any of those restaurants ever been out of cake?
Oh, I'm sure they have. I just didn't ask. For fear of the answer.
All right, boys. Good luck this weekend, Coach.
We're going to win this thing, man. We're going to win it.
Get it, man.
Heard it here first.
Get it.
All right. I'll see you, boys.
See you, boys.
Later on. Safe travels.